Galatians 2:21. I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness comes through the law, then Christ died in vain. Many conclude from this verse that observing the law would actually be an affront to Christ, insulting his sacrifice. Grace and law are not contrary to each other, but rather complementary. God tells Moses that Moses had found grace in his eyes. See Exodus 33:12-13. Was grace a foreign concept to him? No. Moses, the administrator of the law, prayed to receive this grace as he understood its necessity. So since law and grace are not incompatible, we know that Paul is not saying that lawkeepers are acting contrary to God's grace. Let's now turn our attention to Deuteronomy 6:25, which says, Then it will be righteousness for us if we are careful to observe all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he has commanded us. Moses, who wrote this passage, affirms that obedience to God's commandments does yield righteousness for us. Yet, is it mere obedience to the letter that brings us righteousness? The book of Hebrews speaks of those at Sinai. You can look to Hebrews 3:16-18 for context, but for indeed the gospel was preached to us as well as to them, the people at Sinai. But the word which they heard did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in those who heard it. This is why Paul explains that Israel, pursuing the law of righteousness, has not attained to the law of righteousness. Why? Because they did not seek it by faith, but as it were, by the works of the law. Thus, Paul illustrates that righteous deeds alone are not sacrificial, but righteous deeds done out of faith are. This faithful obedience does not make the work of Christ vain.